Oh man, you guys have to come to the shop just to use the bathroom.
You do not need to come to my shop and use the bathroom.
Absolutely, especially if you're coming from another country.
Absolutely not. If you have IBS, not allowed over here.
That thing hooks. So wait, what? This is your shifter?
It's select shift. So we hooked it all up in the computer like a new Mustang, so you can reach over and bump it.
All right, guys, it's been a couple of years, but look at where we're at. Made it to the new paint shop.
Hello.
Hey,
What?
came to film a shop tour. You in there?
Yeah?
You gonna let me in?
No? Do you want to come in?
Yeah.
Come on in.
Man, look at this.
So this is the shop. It's
It's been a couple of years.
probably 2 years, 2 years. Been a while.
Yeah.
So what, we stopped doing videos like right when I finished my green truck, and then we got gung ho and said, hey, we're gonna start doing videos again. So then we shot my green truck video. That was like, what, 6 months ago, 7 months ago?
Did you do that with someone else?
The green truck at the track.
Oh, at the track, yes, that's true.
Yeah,
That
that's what I'm
day.
saying. We did the
I thought you were
track.
talking about the build on it. I was
No,
like, wait, I
no.
don't remember filming it.
So we did that video with you, and then, you know, we have these grand plans of it, and then normal what are you chasing, Mox? She chasing a fly?
I know, she's all wound up. Say hi, Moxie.
I told you, I don't know what she's even chasing. I don't see it. So now we're here, and we'll try to keep up with videos. And we'll go from there. We'll do these weekly. So as we walk around, this is the shop. So we got single garage door on this side. We got our 4-post lift that you can drive right onto, because obviously it's the hardest one to navigate into. Then 2 posts on this side. And then our tool area is over there. Got a storage closet, my office, but we can start down this end, and I'll show you like the toolish area. So I bought that at SEMA. It's called Badass Box. It's really cool. But the plan was it to be the shop box for the shop, like when we built our big massive shop, and then some shit happened early 2019. So now it just became like a box. It is a shop box, but it's more.
It's the small shop box.
Small shop box. We did all of our pallet racks. We powder coated all of our pallet racks to match the toolbox that we already bought. So whenever we got it, we had all of our racks powder coated the same blue and black, because I wanted like the same feel everywhere. I keep Frankenstein's fuel in a 330-gallon tote over there. So I have my own personal gas station of Ignite racing fuel. It smells like tequila. So if you burn this fuel and you've ever gotten really, really sick on tequila, that'll bring it all back to you.
That's a good smell.
It is. The first time I smelt it, that was like raw. It smells like flat out moonshine tequila. Well, not moonshine. Moonshine don't really have flavor, but like just.
You could tell it's got.
Oh my gosh, tequila, like crazy. And then this is going to be where we put all of our toolboxes, and then it ended up just being a place to put my toolbox. I had the mezzanine built to match the width of the depth of the office and the width. I wanted all this open on the bottom side. But then we had 2 Roadster shop chassis up there. One of them's underneath this truck now, but we had chassis up there, and it's got a bunch of overstock parts and, you know, materials that we have, like whatever. And then we bought, I seen these online.
Yeah, these are really cool.
These are awesome. Oh, I got a box in there. So the lever rack system worked out great. I got one for each side, and when we designed the mezzanine underneath it, we had to make it the same height, so all this kind of just fit underneath there perfect. But in this section, we've got all of our nuts and bolts and hardware and everything. And then you come over here and we've got, heat insulators and just extra parts. And then over there is chemicals. And then we have trying to keep all of our fittings organized and whatnot. So it was always a pain in the ass in just a regular cabinet. But in here, we got them all on the hook so we can go through and keep all of our inventory of all our fittings so we know what we have and don't have. So not trying to do a crazy plug, but helped a whole lot in shop organization. Because like I said, at the other shop, we had 20,000 square foot, went down to 10,000 square foot, which was really 8,500 square foot of working space. And now this building is just under 6. It's like 5,900 and some change. And that includes the office. So whenever I was putting this one together, we had to make sure that everything worked out well as far as organization and used every square inch. And crazy enough, like the way this one's organized, the other one had a lot of useless space the way it was set up because there was dead areas where you couldn't get cars into, so it ended up just kind of being a catch-all for everything.
Yeah.
In this shop, it's organized enough. I feel like we can work on more cars at one time, and it's 2,500 square foot less of working space. So I've been pretty happy with it. I like the layout, and obviously it's a whole lot more comfortable whenever it's climate controlled. So that's a huge help to everything. Coyote messes, we won't go into that, but this is personal catastrophic failures. Me and coyotes don't get along very well.
This motor's had a tough
This
life.
specific motor has had a very tough life.
And a very short life at that.
It's got 2,000 miles on it. This will be the 4th time it's been put in. Coyotes are great motors. I just like to push the limits on everything so they don't always last as long as they should. But
This thing's also seen 2 different trucks.
very true. So this will be only the 2nd time in one truck.
Doesn't sound as bad.
Doesn't make me feel any better though.
I see you've got some sweet signage as well all around the shop.
Yeah, so this sign over here, just quick, a little
That's fine
history.
with me, man. I'm giving everyone an in-depth tour.
So the Circus Car Wash was the name of the car wash that we bought a few years back. So that was one of the original signs that was up over there when we took it down. Very cool sign, but I didn't want to leave it Circus Car Wash. So
What about the is that strip club sign there?
I don't know where it came from. Oddly enough, my wife told me to hang that up here. So I don't know if she's telling me to, hints or whatever, but anyway. Then our old Slosh Tubbs made that for me. I don't know that he's made that for anybody else. I'm just going to assume that he hasn't.
I remember he gave it to you at the old shop, right? Mm-hmm. And it just never got hung up. I think originally you said, I'm going to hang this up at the new shop.
Yeah, we hung it up at the old shop for just
you?
a short minute whenever he was there one day. But when I took it down, I put it back up. He helped me a lot throughout the years on different projects. And then he did me a really awesome solid on my green truck for SEMA 19. He built those custom inner fenders for me. So if you need any Slosh Tubbs for a 67 to 72 Ford truck, hit up Slosh Tubbs. And then my office, I kind of want it to feel a little, my daughter's back there, but she doesn't want to be seen, so we can't see her. I wanted my office to kind of feel more like me, like a boss office.
More like you? I don't think it gets any more like you than this right here.
That's Sir Kenneth Conrad. The idea behind that is when the world all comes to an end and somebody else, or at least something comes to an end, that will confuse everybody and they'll wonder like, man, who is this historic figure? And they're little do they know it's just me. But
I like that concept though.
I like it.
At the rate things are going, it may actually come in handy.
Exactly. So then this is the desk from the old shop, and it used to be painted like a lowrider deck lid. And then I said, well, I'm going to paint it black, and I want to do gold leaf and gold top and everything. And so I put like 2 weeks with 2 guys worth of body work in a desk, because that's necessary. And then I don't know what you call that. They don't have a name.
I don't know, like a credenza or something.
That's it.
I don't know.
So I got that from Steve Mills. So I painted that to match the desk.
Wait a second. This used to be in my old office.
Yeah, it was green.
But it was like, yeah, it looked like it was straight out of the 60s, very industrial, like for what I guess you would have seen in an old shop office or something.
Yeah. So painted those to match. Got my sweet leopard print on, what was that, wallpaper?
Yeah, wallpaper.
And then
the mirror.
the mirror. Yeah, I mean, that was just cool.
It's a
Vintage
champagne
glass.
room office.
That's what it's named. And then it's got mood lighting just in case.
Ooh.
Just need to relax.
We're a long ways away from the leg lamp days.
Way better. And what else? I guess that's pretty much it for in here. Storage closet. I wanted stainless sinks. The other shop we had plastic sinks. They never really cleaned up very well. Never looked very
they
good.
look nasty.
They look terrible.
You just can't clean them. Like once they start getting scraped up or anything, then
Yeah.
it just gets embedded.
And then every week here, every Thursday we close. I say close down. We stop working early enough so we can clean the shop. So every Thursday we clean. I feel very comfortable in telling somebody that they could actually eat off of our floors and feel good about it. What the hell is that? Is that the flash she ate making her hiccup? I don't know. One thing I always wanted was a wash sink that you could clean off, like where you put parts on. I use this more than anything. Every water hose has a hot water heater on it too, because nobody wants to wet sand anything with cold water in the winter. So we got a little hot water heater.
Yeah, I wish I'd have known that the other day. Did that diesel motor all out in the cold.
Well, it won't keep up with you like on the power washer thing.
Gotcha.
It works like on low speeds. It's not a huge one, so it works like if you're just like spraying, but like power washing, it won't keep up. And then so now we're onto our fab shop. Same fab table we had before. And recap on the AC. So both rooms have different AC systems also. So this is more of like a conventional, like you have in your house. So there's 2 units over there, one that runs my office, storage closet, and bathroom. And then the overload goes into the room. And then the shop itself, dog got allergies today.
Keenan, I think your dog's dying.
She okay. Tough it up. Put some Windex on it. So that's just like, it's got 1 unit for that, then 1 unit for the office, and then the office helps keep up with it. Inside here, it's got an Aeon unit, because like if you're sanding or grinding anything and it's recycling the air that's in the room, the dust doesn't seem to settle as much. So we had air conditioning at the shop that I had at my house, and we quit using it because you'd be sanding and it was just like blowing air and then trying to pick it up. So it was like always like you're sanding and dust was in your eyes. So in here, it's like going to like a Walmart or a Target or whatever. It pumps in fresh air only. It's got baffles on the walls, and the return is just outside, so it only pumps in cold air. So in here, you don't ever feel air moving. Also helps out like if we're welding, we don't have to have fans on or anything like that. It just pumps in the air, and it moves so slow that we don't have to turn anything off for the welders. Like it doesn't blow the gas out or anything.
I'm sure air conditioning for welders out there is like a wet dream. Because most of those guys have to work out in the heat, I'm sure.
Climate controlled for anybody is just awesome, no matter what you do. Even just sitting on your butt, it's nice just to have air conditioning and heat. So we have 3 cars in here, which is more than I technically want. We got 4 Keenan's trucks in here. But, I'd like to be able to space it out a little bit more, but we're getting caught up. Still carried over some old jobs from the other shop that we're going to try to finish up so we can kind of keep everything leveled out. Same thing, pallet racks are all matching everything. The entire shop also is plumbed with the Kaiser airline. So we've got two Kaiser compressors, 7.5 horse. We got a storage tank behind you. Don't know you. Storage tank behind you, and I'll show you they got a massive storage tank behind the booth. And the airline goes all the way through every shop, so it's connected as a loop through every single shop, so it's all connected. So it's got a lot of volume. I mean, the compressors turn on, but they don't run a whole lot, so which is good. The bathroom, a lot like my office.
Oh man, you guys have to come to the shop just to use the bathroom.
You do not need to come to my shop and use the bathroom.
Absolutely, especially if you're coming from another country.
Absolutely not. If you have IBS, not allowed over here.
That is so mean, man.
So my bathroom, if you need to use the restroom, you want to use the restroom like a king. And if you want to do that, you come to my bathroom. because
I feel like definitely this is a throne that Elvis would die on.
So my bathroom is as dope as they come. It's got a real sweet spot here. Nothing better. If anybody's ever been to Buc-ee's, nothing better than a toilet bowl sanitizer before you sit down. So this is a don't drink out of the toilet, Mox. Don't even sniff it. Somebody's done shit there. Move along. You set your phone over here on my sweet, sweet toilet paper holder. Then you take a little roll off there, give you a little pump on some of the stuff, clean off the seat, never have to worry about sweat button with somebody else after they just finished sweat button on there. Of course, we don't sweat butt much around here anyways because it's air conditioned and heated. So, sweet, sweet rails. Got that bling bling brass gold stuff everywhere. Right? Got matching trash can. Even got a black squatty potty. Not bad.
Man. And the floors, man, they just pop it off.
It all works, man. It's very nice.
It is nice.
Sweet, sweet trim everywhere. Nicer than most people's houses, including mine. Then when we bought the place, this was a single 3.0 door. So I had the whole cut to a double 4.0 door, so it's 8 foot wide. And that's to help get cars into the body shop if need be. So the preferred route, as long as it fits, is to cut over in front of the booth, which it's not a great, we had our limitations on what we could and couldn't do. Like the booth couldn't be on this side because of placement, couldn't turn, so we had to utilize the most rooms we could in the best way we could. So this worked out the best. Like if we have a car that's just absolutely too long to make the corner, we can move this car out of the way, come through here on like wheel dollies, roll it, and then go straight in. 8 foot doesn't seem like it's wide enough, but it's 7 foot tall, but a cab on a cab dolly fits through there, so I'm pretty happy with it. Everything else measures out like 6.5 feet wide, so it'll
saw jumping off course. Yeah, I saw this other sign just
Oh
now.
yeah. So the building at one point used to be Showtime Video back in the, I'm guessing 90s, 80s, 90s.
Uh-huh.
And when we tore down all the offices in here, that was on top. So that was really cool to find that. So we hung that up just cause. And
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought so. So this is our body shop. Again, Kaiser pipe everywhere. Got a couple drops. And I did extraction fans. So if we ever need to clean out what we're doing, or we spray something in here, or whatever, fumes get too bad, we can pull them out. Surround sound stereo. So I got surround sound stereo in the other room. It's got Klipsch speakers hanging up in the corners, and it's got a Klipsch 12-inch sub.
I see you.
Same thing over here. Right? Yep. So it's got, both rooms have full stereo, and they.
I've heard plenty too. It sounds nice.
It's all about that bass. Did all metal walls, just so if we want to rinse it out, we can. We can rinse the walls down, squeegee it out, whatever. But this is it. This room is probably the brightest room in all of the rooms, just because we did the white walls.
And the ceiling's a little shorter, so.
Ceiling's shorter, and we did a lot. There's a lot of lights in here. All LED, trying to save on electricity a little bit. Scare you? She jumped up at you? Weren't expecting it?
No, I just felt something licking my finger. I didn't know what that was.
What or who? So anyways, this is kind of the hole, right? So it doesn't seem very wide to get. She has some allergies today.
Yes, she does.
The hole to get through here is tight, but like that car on the rotisserie fit really well. I mean, there can't be a bunch of crap in the way, right? You have to move the stuff, but it comes through here and turns in quite nicely. And once the car's in here, it's in here for a couple months until we're done doing body work anyway. So it's not like a production body shop where we're having to move them in, out, in, out, in, out. Because if it was, this would be a nightmare of a situation to be in. But for us, you know, we're not hoping to have more than 2 cars in here at a time, just because once one blows apart, they take up a lot of space. This room will also be used for buffing, because we'll be able to clean it out, sweep it, squeegee it, and then we can sit in here and wet sand and buff too. It's nice too, because if you look around, like when you're walking, see shadows around me?
No, not at all.
Bammo. That was the game plan. So if you're in here working, body working, whatever, you're not fighting shadows or like a dark side of the moon or whatever, trying to get some work done. The other shop was terrible about that. Even with nice lights, they were so high and so spread apart that like you always had to have a light bar that we have in the back that I really don't even know why we even use it now. Then same paint booth from the other shop, but when we had the concrete poured back here, they poured a pit. So now we can just drive right into the booth versus having to go up the ramp, which is when it comes to pushing cars. Everything that goes into the booth with us is pushed because we don't get them running until after the fact, so they're always pushers. Like I said, same booth, 2 compressors from Kaiser, 7.5s, and those both tie in. They run like series. So we have one that's the dominant one, and it runs for, I think, 24 or 48 hours by itself, and then it goes on a timer and makes the other one go. And then if it drops below, say if all of us had every airline open in the shop, full boat, and one couldn't keep up, the other one will kick on too, so we don't ever have to worry about like a drop in air pressure, which is awesome for being in the booth. That's why I have one storage tank that's dedicated to the booth. The airline pulls off of that one, so I don't ever have drop whatsoever. Like I said, all the airline goes up, does a full loop through every bit of the shop is tied back to itself. So that way, you know, because it's not only a storage tank, but also the line is a storage tank too, in a sense. So all the pipe that we have here is just storing air. We have quite a bit. Then run into the mixing room. Kind of set up a little different. It's a lot smaller than it was, just because we have some other things going on. But same paint line, nothing's changed there. Still shooting BASF. And then
your paint storage, and then you've got that massive
dry storage, essentially. Says restored my paint shaker. Not bad.
Pretty, it looks nice.
Pretty hot boy stuff. And our massive, huge. Look how big it is. Look how big it is. That's a big storage tank. But this one feeds directly, so it still goes behind me, but my paint booth is run strictly off of that one. So there's no way I could run that much air. I'm good to go. Oh, the other thing too, so when it's freezing cold outside and we don't want to wet sand and buff outside, I bought one of those inflatable detail mats. It's like enormous. It's like 18 or 20 feet long and like 14 feet wide. And we got a hole plugged in the back of the building with a sump that's got like a sump pump in the thing. So we can bring a water hose in here. We can sit here and wet sand and buff, or wet sand and get ready for paint or whatever. If it's 20 degrees outside, we don't have to be outside, we can be in here. Wet sand inside that little tarp, and then when it fills up with water, we'll pump it out the back. And the water's heated. Creature comforts. Same lathe, same shear. New drill press. We didn't have a drill press at the other shop.
I think a lot of people recognize this face right here.
It's a face only a mother could love.
A little scary there.
He's one of those what I do with my hands type of guys. What else, Eric?
This is the shop. Same forklift too, huh?
Same forklift. We had it running real good there for a while, and it'd start like instantly, and then for some reason that stopped working. It's like when you've been married for like 20 years, you just got to really know how to get it going to get it going.
Yeah, I do like the handle upgrades. I feel like those are the best.
It's got dope ass gauges too.
Oh, I hadn't seen them.
I don't know if they work.
They work.
I think they're even hooked up, right? Look at that. They're backlit too. If the lights are off in here, you'd be able to tell. Oh, check out my lights, bro.
Oh.
What brand are those?
Those are.
Oh.
Pow!
This dude puts his name on everything.
Got the KC lights.
Custom exhaust.
It does have custom exhaust,
Just because
AKA rusted out. Got these sweet knobs. You know what I'm most stoked about?
What's that?
With a smaller shop and less people, we're able to be a little more particular about what we work on. And I've decided, like, I want to work on the things that I want to work on instead of having a bunch of people work for me and you have to take in work just to keep people busy.
Right.
I'd rather just do what I want to do, because for a while I felt like I was kind of losing a little bit of the passion about the whole deal. And I hated the feeling of coming to work and not wanting to be here. So when I did my restructure, we changed a lot, and I'm a whole lot happier coming to work every day. building the cars that we want to build. Like, I like high horsepower, pro touring show cars, you know, like my green truck. It was like, you can't build it to do everything. Well, I tried. It may not be the best at everything, but I can just damn near do anything with it.
It's pretty impressive.
Green truck makes about 1,200 at the tires, has AC, leather seats,
It hooks.
killer stereo, hooks.
Not just hooks, but it just nails the apexes at a track, and it stays so straight.
Yeah, and that's what I want to build for everybody. So like 63.5 Galaxy convertible, Roadster Shop chassis, going to be a Pro Charge Coyote. That's going to be a Roadster Shop Fast Track chassis, or it's already on it. Twin turbo LS track truck. That customer, we are strictly building that truck to go to the track. He was there the day that I went there with my boy, and so we're building that for him. That's how I kind of got invited out there all together. But you know, out there racing with AMG Mercedes and Porsches and stuff like that, it's fun to go out there and compete with those guys, and we're trying to take that truck out there to beat those guys. The black and white C10 over there, 85, same thing, fast track chassis, Whipple supercharged LS, big brakes, wide wheels, big wheels. Everything that we have here is a fast track chassis. So it's like we're trying to go that direction and kind of be known for the guy that's building the high horsepower cars for people that understand what it takes to build the cars. And I hate to make it sound like we don't want to build the smaller cars, because we don't mind that at the same time, but it makes our job a lot easier when the people understand what we're doing and why we're doing it, versus a guy that has a small budget and doesn't understand why things are so expensive. You know, educating our customers is the hardest thing of the job, I think, like to get them to understand like what it takes to do it. You know, people think a paint job, you know, and people freak out when I tell them this paint job $30,000-$40,000.
Yeah.
And that's by the time it comes out of the fab shop. That doesn't include any rust repair.
The first time to be honest, the first time I ever heard that price, I was like, wow, that's crazy. But then as I started working at the shop, even though I wasn't doing like physical labor or anything, just seeing the guys and seeing the hours and seeing everything that went into getting to that point, it makes sense.
It's crazy. Like, I feel like a broken record because I've told the story 100 times, but people, you know, like, well, why is the paint job so much? And it's like, well, because I get paid for every hour that we work, right?
Right.
So everybody else goes to work, wants to get paid for every hour they work, so we're going to get paid for every hour we work. If I bid the job, that's unfair to the customer and to me, because if I say, all right, it's $10,000 to paint your car, and at $10,000, we're not even done with body work, and I still have to buy materials, well, guess where that car gets pushed? In the corner, and it gets picked on little by little by little. Body shop jail. Known, everybody knows what body shop jail is. But if I bill you hourly, we stay on it and you stay up with your bill, you're getting a fair deal, I'm getting a fair deal, everybody's happy. It's not that I'm trying to get over on anybody, I just want to get paid for my labor just like everybody else.
Right.
And this is an expensive hobby. Cars are expensive. They're more expensive than they ever have been, and they're only getting more expensive.
Yeah, it's getting
Social
crazy.
media, the parts availability out there, I feel like the hot rod scene right now is just banging. So parts are expensive. And when you're looking on social media and you're looking at these cars and that's what you want, I want this, I want to be like that guy, I want this. Well, you don't understand like what it took to get that truck there is $100,000. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, man, they're expensive. Like, even to build it myself, I can barely afford these cars, and I do it myself for free. But just the parts is crazy.
I remember when it was like a $100,000 build was like crazy. It was a banger build, and now that's just like building like just a really clean, like simple build anymore.
You
People
cannot
are getting up in like the quarter, $500,000, $1 million mark.
easy. Quarter million's
kind of the
easy.
average. Isn't it?
250 is a very good starting number to think about.
Yeah.
$100,000 car, that's one that doesn't need paint. That's like you bring it in, I want to do a chassis swap and LS and some mild upgrades. Before long, you're at $100,000. Chassis are 20, 30, depending on what you do to it, and then you got brakes and motor. Hell, I mean, you'd be at $50,000 in a chassis, motor, transmission, and brakes before it's even put together or powder coated. It's expensive. But, I love it, and thankfully we have customers that do. So as long as we keep doing what we're doing, I think we'll be fine. But other than that, that's my 2 cents, my rant for today. Check back with us in 6 to 8, 9 months, and we'll have another video out. If Eric pushes me enough, maybe we'll have them out sooner. Bye-bye.
It was good catching up with you, man.